first grade teacher at Southside Elementary in the Pike County School District. And my unit is on plants. It's titled Planting the Seeds of Knowledge. My first graders developed a deeper understanding of life science through the study of plants. The students used various tools and participated in a variety of activities that encouraged them to solve problems and convey solutions. They examined the parts of a plant and composed explanations about plants' growth and survival. The students used their knowledge of the structure and the function of the plants to create a freestanding plant that mimicked how roots stabilize a plant in the ground. These are the next generation science standards, the life science standards, where we use materials to design a solution to a problem by mimicking how plants and animals use their parts to survive, grow, and meet their needs. We also read text and used media and made observations about our plants. We read several books and watched several videos about the plants. Some books I read to them that were a little more difficult, and sometimes they read in small groups or with a partner. At the beginning of our study on plants, they created a science journal and decorated how they wanted to, and that's where we kept all our information and all of our data. In small groups, the students read a book titled Seed to Plant, and each pair or group was assigned a group leader, and after they read the book, each student wrote 2 facts that they learned about each part of the plant, and then they shared with the class the facts that they found in their book. They started with the seed, and they used magnifying glasses to examine objects and seeds. They divided their objects into 2 categories, those that were seeds and those that were not, and they reported those in their science journal, and they glued the seeds and the non-seeds in their journal. They also compared dry seeds and seeds that were soaked overnight in water. They dissected the softened seeds and identified its parts, and they learned the function of each seed part, and then they drew that seed and labeled the parts to put in their journal also. Students planted carrots, radishes, onions, beans, and peas, and they were able to watch those grow and develop through root view systems. And they also actually made their own soil using like dry dirt wafers, and they enjoyed doing that. Here they are watching their seeds grow through the root view windows. Each group was assigned a different seed to keep track of and record data in their data notebook. They also made predictions about a stem's job. They participated in an experiment where they put food coloring in water to watch how the stem carried water to other parts of the plant, and then they made a prediction of what they thought that would do and colored their celery to what they think the water would do the next morning. The following day, they examined their celery that they left in the food coloring, and they learned that stems carry water to other parts of the plant. Even though they studied all this, some of them not very many of them predicted that the stem would carry it, even though we had talked about that, so they got to see that. Some of them even tasted celery for the first time. They're very proud of their plants. They continue to observe them each day. The radish actually sprouted first, but as you can see, the bean plant has just outgrown everything, and they love coming in every morning and looking at how their plants have grown. We went ahead and created a freestanding plant. They had to, after we reviewed the parts of the plant and their functions, they were given different materials to create their plant, such as pipe cleaners, yarn, foil, popsicle sticks, felt, foam, construction paper, glue, rubber bands, and tissue paper. I put them in groups of 3 to start out, and they discussed the materials that they wanted to use to create their freestanding plant. They identified within the group what they could use for each part of their plant, but we didn't share that out with the class. Each group went to the table to choose their materials for their freestanding plant, and I informed them if they need additional materials they could go back, and a lot of them saw real quick that the things that they had planned to use for their parts wasn't going to work. Here they are working with their groups to create a freestanding plant. They did really well working with groups. I might have one that wanted to be the boss and tell everybody what to do, but I just kept monitoring the room, and they worked pretty good. Some worked as a group, and some assigned different parts of the plant for their group to make. Here's some more. Many of them came back and forth to the table. They did waste a lot of materials, but they had a very good time. They realized that the stuff that they had planned to use for their plant parts didn't work, so they had to go back and rechange and get new parts. Here they are with their plant. It had to be freestanding, and it had to contain all the plant parts. And here's some more pictures. Believe it or not, this took them over an hour. They worked over an hour on this. So many of them ended up going to pipe cleaners for the roofs. They realized, they said those bend better. They started with popsicle sticks and said that just didn't work. So they had to go back. Some of them used straw and foil for the stem. Some additional activities. I know, like many of you, I got a late start on my unit because of the snow and the bad weather. We're also going to do some examining and classifying with leaves, and they're going to plant marigold seed to take care of. Right now I'm in a room with no windows, so that's been challenging. I had to purchase a light, so right now we're waiting on our vegetables to grow. And as soon as those grow, we're going to plant our seed. But I've learned a lot from some of the other people in my building, some things I could purchase to help me grow more things at one time. And on May 8th, we're going to the East Kentucky Science Center, and they're going to go to 3 different programs that focus on science and engineering, and they're really excited about that, and it's paid for by this grant.